Welcome back to the studio. We're here and we're filming a brand new episode of Swarf Reacts. We've got some great videos to go through, so let's get started. Is it doorknob? What do you think it is?
I don't know, but do you know what that turning's called?
I should know.
I'm guessing. I don't know. I think I know, but I need to guess. Think of it as a miller. What would you call it if it was a miller?
Yeah, conventional turning, isn't it?
Yeah.
I knew it was that.
Yeah.
So what we've got here is backwards and forwards turning. Instead of coming in from the right-hand side to your left and constantly doing that, it's basically, I can't see, okay, so we've got a grooving tool. It looks more like a parting off tool, really, actually, doesn't it? And obviously that's because they want it to get down to a certain depth. And if you've only got a grooving tool, sometimes they only give you a certain length on the grooving tool. So maybe using a parting tool gives you that extra length. If you've got a 100mm bar and you need to go down to 20mm, obviously it's 50-50, so it would be 80mm, 40mm that you'd have to go in. If you've only got 20mm on your parting tool, you're not going to be able to get down. You're not going to be able to get the reach, are you?
No.
Down to your. That's cool though, because that's really quick as well.
I tell you what though, that style of turning is not used enough.
No.
We don't see that, and let's be honest, we go out to quite a lot of places weekly who don't do that style of turning, and it's becoming more popular.
But
look at the speed of that. But I'm guessing programming it, you've got to have the right.
And it's taking that step into the programming. It's learning that programming. People will probably go, yeah, that probably saves me 20 seconds, but I haven't got the time to do 3 days training to learn this skill. But if you think about it in the long run, if that's cutting your cycle time down by like 2/3, that 3 days of training over 3 years will save you cycle time. You know,
you think of that on a production run.
Yeah, exactly.
And like you said, because you're using a parting off tool, which I'm guessing, looking at how it's pulling the corners out there, is radius.
Yeah.
That
you
tool
can see it where it goes up, can't you?
That tool will probably. So what they're doing, looking at that, they're doing fast, shallow depths of cut.
Yeah.
So that insert will last a lot longer than a roughing tool would.
Than doing big depths of cut. Yeah.
Because don't forget, to get that depth, like you've already said, if you went in with a parting blade, you would literally just be plunging in and out.
And you can only see little bits of stringy swirl, so it's obviously chipping well. So you won't get the part dented or scratched or anything because the chips are all nicely coming off.
Yeah, I hope to see that more often. It's great.
Oh God, here we go. So we're inside a machine. What machine is this?
God, what is going off here? What isn't going off there? More like.
Oh my God! So you got 1, 2, 3 turrets, 2 spindles, 3 turrets. Oh my God, they're spinning round like no one's business. So yeah, 3 turrets. Is it 4 turrets?
2 spindles, 4 turrets.
What is it doing?
Live
no, there's
tooling.
5. There's 5. There's one at the top
3.
there. Or is that a parts catcher? Oh my God, this has blown my brain.
Would you call this a 6-axis machine?
No. 1, 2. I'm trying to work out how many there are.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus live tooling.
Why would you need this many turrets on a machine?
You've got to be doing production for this, haven't you? You've got to be doing thousands of.
Long-term, high speed, bish, bash, bosh, get them out, you know.
Because that is impressive. And it looks like they're either at a show or an open house with the gentleman behind.
Yeah.
But
I want to know, is that up the top? So up the top right, you can see it's gone off camera now, but when it moves back, so there's another turret, right? If we look at the top right, oh, thank you. Is that at the top?
That's a tool holder.
Is that another turret?
That's a tool holder. It's got to be.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, it's got to be. What do you call it? That looks like a tool holder, definitely.
Can everybody in the comments tell me what this machine is?
It's either a tool holder or a
gantry.
Gantry, that's it. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think.
So tool holder, gantry, or parts catcher. Oh no, not on that side. Maybe on the other side. But that's fantastic. That's probably one of the most mind-boggling things I'm probably going to see today.
I'd like to see that in person.
Yeah.
Find out what's actually going off.
Okay, so turning. There's lots of turning in this one. Okay, so that was your roughing tool. So grooving again. That's also was that a part of tool? Oh, so we're going through different stages. So did you see how the bigger tool is roughing, the thinner tool is finishing, and then you've got part off. So we've got rough in there.
Oh, it's grooving. It's grooving in the middle.
Yeah, but it's got rough in there.
Yeah.
And then the next tool that comes along, roughing. That's
finishing.
So you see the different.
Is it finishing or threading?
That's finishing. So that's a different style insert, isn't it? So obviously when we were talking about inserts earlier, they create a different finish on there.
Yeah. So you're right. Yeah, you're right.
So that's just showing.
And then
there is your part off tool that they're doing the grooving with, and you can tell the difference between a part off tool and a grooving tool, because a grooving tool normally has the normal shank on it, but the part off tool is basically literally like a thin, it depends on your tool insert, so 3mm, 4mm, that size going all the way back. So it basically just looks like not like a credit card, but like just
a blade.
Yeah, like a blade.
But you know what always gets me with parting tools, and this is obviously, you'll know more about this than I do, but how weird is it how the tips fit in a parting tool? How you just bend it up, put the insert in, and then bend it back down?
Yeah, and then when you
how
get it
does
out,
stay in?
When you get it out, it clips out. I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Because you always get them fancy little tools with the two prongs on.
And if you've got some really, and you can just pick it out. I remember one went flying and I couldn't find it. Anyway, and it's amazing how rigid they stay with all the vibration and all the thickness and hardness of the tools.
Don't get me wrong, I know they slide into a groove but still, you are literally just bending a bit of material up and down.
I think it's got a bit of an instep in it where it clicks and clacks. Click, clack. No, in and out.
But no, that's cool.
Oh, God. Oh, my God, so we're key cutting. We're key cutting?
We are. I know this video because I was there when it was filmed. Henry Squire. We did a swarf at Henry Squire.
Yeah.
And we followed a padlock all the way through. This is how they cut the keys for the padlocks, which to me was awesome. That they just put it in, press go, and it just cuts key after key.
So what machine are they doing this on? Is it a specialised machine? Because when you go and get a key cut, there's normally an old guy. sorry to be stereotypical, who places your key right, and then it basically has like a mirror grinding wheel that basically, so say your key's here, your key's here, it will track, and then it will have a blank on this side, and when it tracks, it cuts the indent into the key. So why is this quicker and more effective?
This was using a tiny little circular saw, and it was all just programmed.
And obviously you can tell the size of the disc by the size of the key. Because the key's not going to be this big as it is like a normal key for a padlock.
Yeah, it was just like a normal door key. It was mad because they were just loading one after the other, and it was just running and running and running. It was great to see, and it was one of them processes where a tiny bit of automation could have made that a dream.
Is it all doing by hand?
Yeah. They do every key. Well, they load every key by hand.
Has it got like a stop on it where it just goes in and sits in?
So it slides. So if I remember right, it's got like a big block on the top, which they unscrew, which then the block
opens it up.
Sprung slides up. They slide the key and it's like stop on the back, stop on the front, screw it back down, it locks it, and then it goes. But you looking at that, it doesn't need much pressure to hold that key. It's not going anywhere. But yeah, it was great. We were talking to the lady, and she literally had boxes and boxes of just blank keys, and she was just running them through over and over. It was mad.
I'm trying to think of a key pun, but I haven't got one.
Just keep it locked away.
I'm loving watching all these videos. It really takes me back to when I was on the shop floor. So if you have any, please send them in and we can go through them together.